All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to the XRPL Demo Day. For those of you that know me, probably half the room, my name is Jordan. For those of you that are seeing me for the first time, my name is still Jordan. It doesn't change anything. Come on, you guys got to laugh. Nice, thanks. All right, so I'm part of the Tenity team, and I'm the program lead for the XRPL Accelerator. I want to thank you guys for taking out a Tuesday evening, getting off work early. You're welcome for that. And then taking time to see the 11 startups that we have worked with for the last 3 to 4 months. So, hang on. All right, so moving on to the agenda. We might be a little bit late, but it's okay. Sorry? All good? Okay, cool. All right, so what's going to happen next is we're going to have a short introduction about what the XRPL Accelerator is. We're going to have the introduction of what Tenity does from the head of Asia, Jonas. And then we'll start with the exciting stuff, which is the startup pitches for the evening. All right, and after that, we'll have some networking, some refreshments as well. All right, so we start with the introduction from Adrian and Sophie. They're going to share about what the XRPL Accelerator is and what the startups have been doing for the last 3 to 4 months.
Thank you, Jordan. And thanks, everybody, for coming today. Introducing ourselves. I'm Adrian. I work at Ripple in the developer funding team. I'm usually based in New York, but super excited to be here in Singapore with all of you. And with me is Sophie.
Hi everyone, my name's Sophie. I also work on the developer funding initiatives, also based out of New York, and if you get confused and can't find me afterwards, I'm wearing the exact same thing tonight. I just realized as I am in the picture. That's from our first Cohort demo day 2-3 months ago in London that I got to DJ, so I'm excited to see Jordan take that over tonight. He's done a great job so far. But yeah, just want to give you guys a brief introduction as to the ecosystem itself, and then pave most of the road here for the founders to pitch their projects. Oh yeah, is she on the Zoom?
You can also, in case you're wondering, the third person on the screen, so that is Christina, our director of developer funding. She would have loved to be here as well with us today, but unfortunately couldn't make it. And yeah, also realizing I'm wearing the same things as well.
We're just NPCs. Awesome, yeah, well, we are super excited to welcome everyone to our second demo day. Just to give you guys a brief overview as to the ecosystem itself and what we're working on building out here. So the Accelerator program is really stemming from greater funding initiatives. A few years ago, Ripple pledged $1 billion XRP to help fund the underlying ecosystem, which has led to several initiatives, including grants, hackathons, and this Accelerator program. So yeah, all these programs are really to help nurture a super nascent developer ecosystem that you guys are all a part of. And then just an overview as to some of the funded projects. This is stemming from the grants program as well as accelerator program. So we funded over 150 projects globally and across over 30 countries, have allocated over $22 million. And here you can see a couple of the exciting projects from Cohort 1, Apicene, Verify Ad, Near Watchdog. As you can see, our projects are spread all over the globe, and now we're super excited to also go live with our partnership here at Tenity, our first partner cohort here in Singapore, and hopefully we see this map grow. And I'll hand things over to Adrian.
Thank you. And yeah, we're going to keep things very briefly. Giving you a quick overview of the XRPL ecosystem. So it's a decentralized blockchain, 100% decentralized. We have by now over 600 nodes running all over the globe, making sure that the ledger is always up and running. We have over 100 proof of association validators, so that's also something that sets the XRPL apart from most other blockchains, how basically the consensus mechanism is set up. And with that, XRPL has some really great, unique features that is attracting builders, developers. 11 of those you will see later today pitch. We have over 1,800 unique apps and exchanges that are running on the XRP ledger. Over 4.5 million active XRPL wallets are out there, so it's a really growing and thriving ecosystem. As such, XRPL has been around for over 10 years now, making it one of the first blockchains out there. And since then, we have processed over 2.6 billion transactions, representing a total value of over $1 trillion. And today, XRPL is one of the first blockchains, and we're the 5th largest blockchain with a market cap of over $35 billion. And with that, we want to wrap up our part with a very special thanks to our friends at Tenity. Really big thanks to Jordan. Who really has impressed all of us. So Jordan only joined Tenity about, was it like a month, 6 weeks before the program actually kicked off. Thrown into cold waters, but really rocked the program, did such an amazing job. So really huge thanks to you, but also the whole Tenity team. I see where Jonas luckily picked up the phone, / the message a few months ago when we inquired about a really great partner for APAC. So we knew that there's a really huge community of developers here, of amazing startups. We wanted to be present, but obviously we couldn't do it ourselves. So we were very fortunate to find an amazing partner like Tenity with a great expertise here in Asia and APAC out of Singapore. So really wanted to extend our big gratitude and thanks to Team Tenity. And with that, we can move out of the spotlight and hand it over to you again.
Alrighty, so next up we got some welcome remarks from my dear boss, head of Asia of Tenity, Jonas, to share a little bit of what Tenity does. Jonas.
Thanks, Jordan, and thanks, Adrian, Sophie, for your warm words. And we are equally excited about this partnership. And also thanks to Jordan from my side. Been really an amazing job that he's done in the last few months. Just a few words about Tenity for those that don't know us. We at Tenity, we believe that startups drive innovation. For any corporates in here, we actually believe that you struggle a bit with effective innovation. But the magic happens when startups meet the corporates. And that's really core to what we do, what we believe. And ever since we started in 2015, that's really what we do. We are now across Asia, across Europe, the Middle East. More than 40 people. We see every year about 2,500 startup applications. And those that made it through the program, soon 300, they have raised more than 370 million. And of course, I see all the aspiring founders here. I hope you guys pump up that number very soon. Yeah, of course, we work with very strong partners. So of course, tonight is all about XRPL. And we work with a number of the bigger financial institutions like UBS, just across the road, Six Group, the Swiss Stock Exchange, or Franklin Templeton, for example, also here in Asia. We have a lot of startups that went through our programs. I mentioned just a few notable ones. For example, Yokoi, they raised 80 million from Sequoia last year. It's an expense management startup. Or Keyrock, for those in crypto space, it's a market maker. They raised 72 million. That was actually a co-investment with Ripple. Or CoverGo, that's an insurtech out of Hong Kong. In short, we're doing corporate innovation. We have our own venture fund and we do startup programs. And lastly, we also have international programs where we work, for example, Korean startups to come to Singapore or Australian startups to come to Singapore. So we do different things with different partners. With this, I've done my job for tonight and I'll get a drink later.
All right, so it's my turn to work now. Okay, so the XRPL Accelerator was a 14-week program, about 3.5, 4 months program. It kicked off in September, where all the startups flew in. We had 2 weeks of intensive master classes. We did a first week about building, and then we had Token 2049. And then we had a week where we were doing online sessions. So the online sessions were mainly about marketing, how we're going to spread into different areas, into different countries as well. And lastly, we are all here today for the demo day, and definitely SFF that's happening in the next 3 days as well. So throughout the last 3 months, all these startups, they had a lot of fun. They worked very, very hard as well. This is just a small little picture collage of all the things that has happened in the last 3 months. Definitely there are more, but I could only fit that many pictures into one. So if you look at the startup faces now, everyone's smiling a little bit because they know they know all the fun they had, but they also work very, very hard. All right, so now we're going to move on to the exciting part, which is the pitch session. So for the first startup, I think one of the problems he's trying to solve is that payments in the crypto space is a very common use case that we have. But the hardest part of payments is the acceptance part, right? A lot of merchants do not accept crypto. And right now we have FreePay, who is going to share with you how he plans to solve that problem. So without further ado, can you put your hands together for Farhan from FreePay?
Thank you very much. Hello everyone, my name is Farhan Dawood and I'm the CEO and founder of Free. Free is a universal payment gateway specializing in Web3. It works. As we know, one of the biggest challenges mass market adoption of Web3 is the ability to pay using digital assets. The first generation of solutions trying to address this problem have had some success, but are not providing enough to address the whole challenge. This is not surprising, as historically, only a limited number of people have had the ability to innovate with point of sale because of its security. I understand this because I was the first person in the UK to be allowed to deploy a chip and pin terminal for Visa back in 2001. And over the last 20 years, I have continued to explore and innovate with hardware and networks, bringing everything from prepaid, mobile, music, gaming, all the way to new networks, new payment networks like WeChat and Alipay. So what are the limitations of the current solutions in the market? New hardware. Firstly, hardware is very expensive, very time-consuming to deploy. It has taken Visa 20+ years to build the payment network that we use today. Using TradFi to process our transactions is expensive for merchants and actually gives more power and control to Visa and MasterCard, which is not a winning strategy for Web3 for the future. And having no support framework in place for Web3 is something that merchants and consumers cannot accept. Free's answer to solving this problem is our unique approach to directly connect Web3 to 50 million existing smart terminals across the globe, whilst providing the same level of protections that merchants, consumers, and more importantly, acquiring banks have come to accept. Our all-in-one payment application provides access to any payment network. And we are excited to share that FreePay, our Web3 payment network, is already live processing transactions with Zum, which is the largest wallet on the XRPL. We delivered our first proof of concept with a bank in the UK, very proud to have a bank allowing us to do this, And I'm happy to say that we have processed over 300,000 successful transactions. So that's done. Now we can build on this opportunity. We at Free understand that unless all the stakeholders are part of our solution, we cannot get to mass adoption. Free works with not only Web 2, Web 3, but also provides infrastructure for the 1.7 billion unbanked using CBDCs. We are raising 1 million pre-seed investment to continue development in our technology and also in our payment framework. Our world is on the verge of one of the biggest transformations in payment history since the introduction of cards. In 2007, consumers moved from Nokia to iPhone, and a billion-dollar industry was born. Today, millions of merchants are moving from traditional point of sale to smart point of sale, and Free is the conduit that enables them to turn transactions into interactions. The opportunity is staggering, and we are so excited to be at the forefront. Thank you for your time today, and if anybody is interested in what I've been talking about or would love to do some transactions, please come and find us later. Thank you very much.
Cool. Thank you so much, Farhan. Thank you for the presentation as well, sharing with us how you can turn transactions into interactions. So next up, we have Julian from Mandala Money. So Mandala Money is looking to enable remittance in a low-tech environment, helping South Africans to save costs, remit more quickly, and making the whole process safe. Julian, please.
Cool. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Julian. I am the CEO and co-founder at Mandala Money. We make sending money as easy as sending an instant message. Okay, so sending money back home is a daunting task for migrants. This holds true across the world. I want to introduce you to Nyasha, who is a farm worker from Zimbabwe working in South Africa. At the end of every month, Nyasha has to send $200 to her children back in Zimbabwe for their support. But she doesn't have access to formal remittance channels, so she has to do this through informal channels, which means she ends up paying up to 20-30% in transaction fees. Not only that, she takes on additional risk because she has to send this as cash, so it might not be delivered to the recipients, or it might be stolen. Or let's say she had access to formal channels, that's still expensive for remittances, you pay about 10% in fees. Globally, right, this is not a problem that's specific to sub-Saharan Africa. This is a global problem where we know that remittances are a financial lifeline for many. But again, looking at numbers from sub-Saharan Africa, in 2022, remittance inflows were $53 billion US, and specifically the Zimbabwe-South Africa corridor was about $1 billion in remittances. This is similar to, say, your Singapore-Malaysia corridor. Okay, and this is sort of where we want to start to play and get a foothold. So what we have developed is Mandala Wallet, which is a mobile money wallet that allows users like Nyasha to send remittances via stable coins simply using the recipient's cell number. Our solution is highly affordable and highly accessible as well. You can use an iPhone, or you can use a Nokia that does not have internet connection, that does not need data. Okay, it's highly accessible, can also be accessed via WhatsApp or USSD. All that Nyasha would need to do is to know the cell number of the recipient that she's trying to send to, put that in, as well as the amount that what she wants to send and the currency that she wants to send. That could be a stable coin, that could be native crypto as well. In 5 seconds, the receiver will receive an SMS that confirms that they've received money, and they can then just go and find off-ramp into fiat at a local partner. We've chosen to use blockchain technology because this allows us to do cross-border payments in high speed and at low cost. And crucially, Crucially, just going back to the previous slide, crucially, if you use a stable coin like USDC, this can provide a hedge against hyperinflation. Ask anybody in Zimbabwe or Venezuela. Okay, we've got a few competitors that are operating in the mobile money space. Again, this is from a sub-Saharan Africa point of view, but across the different verticals and Web3 integration, we are leading the charge. Our business model, primary business model, is a B2C model where we charge transaction fees on remittances, and then the longer term play is a B2B model where we offer our product as a white label to mobile network operators, and we're calling this a wallet as a service operation. Fundamentally, we believe that every cell number, including yours, is a wallet and can hold these different assets. The team consists of myself and my co-founder Iggy, who's sitting in the audience. We have experience in financial services and technology, and we've trained at the University of Cape Town, which is the best university in Africa. Our traction to date is we've signed up some users who are doing some beta testing of our product. We've configured it on 4 different continents to prove that it can scale, and we've secured some crucial partnerships. Our ask for today is $500,000, which will help us to be able to get some legal licensing and to be able to secure some on-ramp and off-ramp partnerships where we're looking to partner with merchants as an easy to use walk-in on-ramp. Okay, so that is us. If you would like to carry on this conversation, we're keen to chat about how we can help migrants like Nyasha to send remittances and how we can have impact on the world. You can find us at the back there, or you can look for yellow sneakers, and that is me. Thank you.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Julian, for the presentation on low-tech environment remittance. Next up, we got D3 Labs. D3 Labs is a project that has a strong team and vision, looking to solve problems with cross-border transactions. So from D3 Labs, we have Chuning.
Thank you, Jordan, for the introduction. Hello, guys. My name is Chong Ing, CEO of D3 Labs. So how D3 Labs functions is slightly different from other projects. What we do is more like working with enterprises and banks to offer DLT as a technology, as an infrastructure to facilitate cross-chain transactions and cross-border transactions. So I think a lot of people here definitely knows about cross-border transaction. But do you know that actually $150 trillion is being processed through all the cross-border network last year? And more than 95% are actually dominated by the B2B transactions, which is the corporates, bankings, etc. And because of these highly sensitive corporates and bankings, there's actually a lot of legacy system problem where you see high costs in remittance, B2B wise, 6% in remitting back into Southeast Asia currency. You see slow speed, T+2, which is generally you increase your banking risk, which is your settlement risk and also your funding costs. Then you have your limited access, which is like SWIFT, is all member-based kind of system. And lastly, transparency, because it's still managed by a centralized organization. And our thesis is that actually this is a very big market if you have the correct team and the correct experience. Because let's say in fees-wise, just last year, $2.8 trillion is being paid as fees in both FX and fixed costs. In Asia Pacific, where we see a growing middle class, you see with more money, more transactions happen. And this is where we see $1 trillion being transacted in Asia Pacific with a CAGR of 10%. And lastly, I'm based in Indonesia. Just currency inflow, we are talking about like 300 plus billion alone. We just inflow without outflow. And then D3 Labs, what we do is mainly as an Indonesia company. Previously, we already have a lot of banking relationship with Indonesian banks like BCA, etc. And this is where we are working with the different banking partners and enterprise to build out like blockchain infrastructures to facilitate how they do their in-house and external transactions. And so far, we already have a pre-seed investment happen earlier this year, which we have like famous financial institution VC arms like Sison Capital, like UOB Ventures who joined in the previous round. And personally, for us ourselves, we are relatively experienced in the market. We have been running Toko Crypto, founded Toko Crypto, which is one of the largest digital exchange in Indonesia since 2017. We sold it off to Binance. And then instead of doing a B2C exchange, we moved our expertise into becoming a more B2B enterprise kind of experience. In terms of like, let's say, on what we have built our own in-house DLT infrastructure, which we call CC Core. Basically, what it does is an infrastructure layer where enterprise can come in to build infrastructures or build applications, facilitating P2P transactions within enterprise or intra-enterprise. So far, we have launched our product for about 4 months. We have already gotten traction from 5 big players, including tier 1 banks in Indonesia and also tier 1 conglomerates. We have already seen about like 70% kind of cost savings for intra and inter-company transactions. And also we have already signed contract values of 165K. So this is going strong, and we hope that we can hit 1+ million sales next year. And lastly, we had, like what I mentioned, we did a pre-seed round earlier this year, 1 mil safe round, participated by the different banks and local Indonesia VCs. And now we are raising a pre-series A round, I would say a larger round, 5 mil, where we are looking for more acquisition of license and then expansion overseas to form banking networks, not just in Indonesia, but also other part of Asia Pacific. So I think that's all for my presentation. Feel free to connect with us through this QR code or just check with us behind. Thank you.
Alrighty, thanks Chuning so much. So one of the biggest things that you can do with crypto is not only just cross-border transactions and remittance. One of other things you can do is an exchange of value, right? So next up we have Shen, who has built and still building a DEX, have already built a DEX. Let him share what his project does. Shen, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Shen, one of the project leads for SerpentSwap and Stake Labs. So we've been developing on the XRPL since 2021, and we first launched our platform in 2022, StakeX, what this allowed was projects to autonomously establish and manage distribution of their tokens to their communities. Now, the evolution of this platform is SerpentSwap. SerpentSwap is an EVM-based platform. It's a DEX and NFT AMM, which allows users to swap and liquidity pool both tokens and NFTs on the XRPL EVM sidechain. There's 3 key problems that the XRPL ecosystem currently faces. There's a lack of DeFi options for XRP holders. There's a lack of infrastructure on the EVM sidechain. And there is also a lack of liquidity in the XRPL NFT ecosystem. SerpentSwap solves all 3 of these issues. First, we have a DEX, which allows users to swap tokens on the XRPL EVM sidechain in a decentralized manner and self-custodial manner, which also allows them to liquidity pool tokens, things like Uniswap and PancakeSwap, which is something that is currently unavailable to users on the XRPL mainnet. We also provide essential sidechain infrastructure. Our DEX is required for users to be able to move tokens within the XRPL EVM sidechain ecosystem, as unlike the XRPL mainnet, it does not have a native DEX. And we also provide an NFT AMM. This allows users to buy and sell NFTs with liquidity pools. Right now, if you're wanting to buy or sell an NFT, you need an active buyer or seller to participate in that transaction. Using a liquidity pool, you as a single user can buy and sell your NFT at any time you want using the liquidity pool, and you do not require an active second participant. There's a lot of potential for DEXs on the XRPL EVM. Currently, there's over $10 billion locked on DEXs across all other chains on some of these largest DEXs. However, XRP has very minimal representation on these platforms. A lot of XRP is predominantly held dormant on centralized exchanges. Using the XRPL EVM sidechain, we'll be able to activate a lot of this XRP and allow users to finally use their XRP to liquidity pool and participate in traditional DeFi mechanisms, which have been proven to work very successfully on most other chains. Our business model is a tried and proven business model which generates transaction fees based on token and NFT swapping. These transaction fees are then split between liquidity providers and token holders, as well as going towards the operational costs of the platform and back to the company for us to continue to evolve and develop our products on the XRPL EVM sidechain. We're sitting in a unique position from a competition standpoint as we plan to launch on day one of the XRPL EVM sidechain. We want to be the very first and premier DEX of the EVM. We also have a very collaborative nature in the way we work. With our mainnet platform, we've worked with over 50 different XRPL projects, and we will bridge those relationships over to the EVM sidechain, use that to bootstrap the development of the ecosystem. We've also built up a community of over 13,000 users on our mainnet platform, which will bridge directly over to the SerpentSwap DEX and help, again, bootstrap the entire XRPL EVM ecosystem. If you'd like to follow along the journey of SerpentSwap and what we're building, feel free to follow us here. And we have a table over there if you'd like to chat more about what we're building. Thanks everyone for listening.
Alrighty, thank you, Shen. Just a quick question. How many people here have used the DEX? Oh, great, almost the whole room. So one of the biggest things with the DEX is you need a wallet to interact with the decentralized exchange, right? So next up, we have Ryan from Crossmark. He's going to show you what he has built for the XRPL ledger. Ryan, please.
Hi, Crossmark is a browser extension wallet with native support for the XRP ledger. But we're building in a direction to support smart contracts on the EVM sidechain. But first, who am I? My name is Ryan Molly. I'm the founder at Crossmark. I have over 3 years of experience building on the XRP ledger and was asked to speak at the previous 3 Apex Developer Summits. I recently wrote a proposal that made its way to the Ripple D source code and can be observed on every transaction query today. There are over 3.2 billion Chrome desktop users, of which 10 million people have reported using browser extension wallets. This is a lot of people and a massive market opportunity. The problem, we do not have one blockchain to rule them all. Rather, we have blockchains with costly fees, long transaction times, or we have blockchains that have a lack of features that customers want. This is where Crossmark comes in. Crossmark is providing the missing link, bridging the gap between the XRP ledger and the EVM sidechain. This way, users can choose which network they'd like to use on a daily basis. The key maker. So a lot of people think the main responsibility of a wallet is to send and receive payments. While this is true, wallets also serve an important role in creating new wallets on the networks. By taking advantage of the underlying encryption mechanism on both the XRP ledger protocol and the EVM protocol, we can use one private key to generate 2 wallets, one wallet that lives on the XRP ledger and one wallet that lives on the EVM sidechain. In doing this, users can seamlessly move funds between wallets and only have to manage one private key. We are different than our competitors. In addition to offering low fees and quick settlement times, we also offer a platform that enables DeFi in our wallet. We also have a built-in card design feature, which is sort of like our X Factor, which allows users to customize their experience, making us the most customizable wallet in crypto today. Okay, it's money time. So how do we earn money? So we have 3 different tiers. The first is a monthly subscription service, which is very kind of reminiscent to the Web 2 world. The second is monetization through swaps and access to liquidity. And the third is a physical, a product-based solution that allows users to buy tangible cards that are linked to their NFT sales. So we already have built up quite a bit of momentum to date. We're currently on the Chrome Web Store with around 2,500 downloads or installs, most of which are active users. We have a healthy Discord community of around 225 people, which has allowed us to gain early feedback and continue to improve the product. Join us in making a splash. We're asking for $500,000 to help support infrastructure, development, and continue our marketing efforts. This is currently a seed round, and we're interested in investors, mainly angel investors, but we'd be open to anyone interested. Help us in unleashing value on the XRP ledger using Crossmark. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ryan. So once we have a wallet on, if you use a wallet to interact with a DEX or D app, I think one of the things that we want to do is also to off-ramp those money so that you can pay for stuff in the current world that doesn't accept crypto. So next up, we have Elias from Win, who's going to share about what he does with Win. Elias, please.
Thanks, Jordan. Hi, everyone. I'm Elias, CEO and co-founder of Wind. And at Wind, we are really trying to solve for is cross-border payments. So here's the problem with cross-border payments. Whether you're using traditional rails or crypto rails. In traditional rails, you are slapped with very high transaction fees. And if you're using crypto rails, while you don't have as much fees, but setting up a crypto wallet is very annoying, right? You have public keys, private keys, mnemonics, gas fees. It's very confusing to set up and actually use a blockchain wallet. So our solution is that we'll do cross-border payments with stable coins. And we are already live. We are serving customers such as Ed in USA who are sending money to employees in Philippines. So what we do is we help Ed on-ramp their USD into USDC, batch send those USDC to their employees in Philippines where they can off-ramp it very cheaply. And when I say cheap, our benchmark is the likes of TransferWise or Payoneer or people who are already existing and serving this market. And we have gotten our cost down to half the cost of our nearest competitor, which is TransferWise. Our product is two things, right? One is a business dashboard, which is live right now. You can actually go to business.win.app and use it today to on-ramp and batch send money to your employees. And we also have an Android and iOS app for our consumers who are receiving that same funds. They can obviously cash it out into one of the 50 different banks in Philippines or any of the major e-wallets, but also you can choose to keep that same money in your wallet, earn a yield with it, and we're also working on a debit card so you can use your stable coins in the real world. Our linchpin, however, is that we built our own on-ramps and off-ramps. Initially, when we tried to make this, we started to partner up with external on-ramps and off-ramps. The challenge is they are very costly. Someone like Transact or MoonPay charges anywhere between 1.5 to 3%. Which for us was a non-starter. We wanted to compete with the likes of TransferWise or Payoneer. So we built our own and we got down our cost to significantly a lot less. So we can offer our users a much faster and cheaper experience at the same time. And we started our business early last year. We launched early this year. And so far, our traction has been up only as we signed up more and more different businesses. What we also saw is that the rails that we built for on-ramps and off-ramps is not something that we just need to use for ourselves, but we can also offer it to a lot of other people so we have signed up different other remittance players and serving them for their on-ramp and off-ramp needs as well. So Wind is a self-custody wallet. It's a DeFi wallet, which means anyone, anywhere in the world can open the wallet up and start receiving money. However, we are focused right now on the US to Philippines corridor, and we are also launching in a lot of other markets, each unlocking a huge potential. This is the team. Myself and Fahad, we started a company before this. This is actually our second company. We have built in the consumer tech platform before. Arman is a seasoned blockchain developer who's our CTO. And Simo, who's also here with us today, is a seasoned fintech business development executive. So for us, we are raising $5 million, of which $3.5 million have already been committed. And yeah, if you want to talk more about cross-border payments, we're happy to chat. I'll be over there throughout the day. Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you, Elias. Next up, we have Samira from Kaiju Labs, who will be sharing how you can build a game without any code. Samira, please.
Good evening, everyone. Do you know how many people it takes to build a game like Sandbox? Well, they have over 500 members in their team, $97 million in funding, and most importantly, they have backing from Animoca Brands, which is one of the largest players in the Web3 gaming world. What if you don't have that? What if you don't have that and you want to build a Web3 game? Well, then you are in big trouble, as modern games require complex backends to operate. And as developers, you have very few backend options available for you. And most of the time, you have to build everything from the scratch. And one of the largest problem is, most of the 99% of the game developers, they don't have any blockchain knowledge. These are the main reasons why game developers shy away from building on Web3. We solve this by providing a fully integrated solution. As game developers, you can use our SDKs to build on any of the existing game engines. You can onboard users easily with any of these social logins without having to send users through a complicated process of configuring wallets. And you can manage the entire aspects of your game in a single dashboard. It only takes less than 10 minutes to configure our product with any of the game engines. You can create a project, import our SDK, just drag and drop stuff, and you can onboard users and create amazing games like this one in minutes. For the game developers, we provide a comprehensive solution, an all-in-one platform, the only thing that you need to build and start building on Web3. The gaming industry is already a $300 billion industry. Last year alone, people spent $70 billion in purchasing in-game items. We believe that most of this transaction will move on-chain in the coming decade. That's what we are building for. Our business model is simple. We charge a small commission from the in-game transactions, and we charge a monthly subscription based on the monthly active users in your game. When it comes to the Web 2 world, we have competitors like PlayFab, Beamable, which supports traditional games. And if you are in the Web 3 world, if you are building on Web 3, you have to use a cocktail of these solutions to get your game working. We come and we provide a single platform to manage all this and build easily and efficiently. We have assembled a team of experts, a qualified team, to build and take this to the market with over a decade of gaming industry experience. And the co-founders have previously built a successful gaming startup. We raised our pre-seed funding earlier this year. We started building our product. And so far, we have partnered up with 4 gaming projects that gives us around $1,000 monthly recurring revenue. And we have over $200,000 in revenue from the deals for the next year. Currently, we are raising $900,000 US in seed funding, and 40% is already committed. And we are looking for qualified investors to join our seed round. And if you are interested, please come and talk to us after the call, after the presentation. Thank you very much.
Alrighty, thanks Samira. So next up, we have a very interesting founder, Tori. Tori is a national athlete in Australia. She's going to share with you how athletes can monetize themselves. Tori, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tori, and as Jordan just introduced, I am a track and field athlete. I've represented Australia on multiple occasions in the heptathlon. So I have a lot of first-hand experience what it's actually like to be an athlete pursuing an Olympic sport from the grassroots level through to the elite level. And a huge, huge fallacy, which is perpetuated a lot, is that athletes can earn a living, but they can't, which is why I'm pitching here today. I don't earn a living from athletics, I earn a living as a developer. And so one big thing I've noticed in the world of sports and sports data is that athlete sports data is harvested instead of rewarded. You do all this work and commit your life to this pursuit, and you actually aren't rewarded for it, and you don't own your data. So the solution is tokenization of sports data to allow athletes to own it. And with that solution, that's how I came up with the idea and built out a platform called EqualX. So EqualX is actually a social media developed for sports performances, where when you do a post, it's a digital collectible, and all likes and comments and engagement is exchanged as peer-to-peer transaction as tokens. So essentially, you can own your virality. The platform is built for 3 main audiences. The first one, it's very obvious, is athletes. So as an athlete, you do a great performance, you can mint it, it's up there as a digital collectible, and then you can start earning tokens for people engaging with that and liking your comment, liking your post, and giving you recognition for what you've done. You can also earn XRP for trading them as well, so I could sell my performance to someone who really appreciates it, and I'll also get secondary market features off that as well. So if it keeps selling and I get better in my career, of course my performances are going to be worth more. The other great thing about it as well is you earn your tokens. The question is, what do you do with it? And that's where the EqualX marketplace comes into play. So as an athlete, you have very real needs. You need a shoe, you need to pay for a massage. You can use your tokens to go pay for those goods and services that you need. The next is the fans, which is the fun part. So as a fan, we all love to go to games and be part of the atmosphere and feel like we're walking with someone in their journey. And that occurs at all levels. We love going to kids' sport if you've got kids. You might have a friend who does sport. So as a fan, you can actually spend equal tokens to get recognition by athletes. You can also earn tokens by Move to Earn, so you can connect a wearable to your EqualX profile and earn that way. And you can also participate in the trading of digital collectibles. And finally is brands. Sport is a global thing. Brands are big in the world of sport. Obviously, we'll sell our advertising on the platform. You can list your business or goods and service on the EqualX marketplace. And of course, brand activations, you participate with a brand activation, you can earn tokens. So there's a lot of brand integrations that we have. Finally, another big thing is the EqualX software licensing. So essentially, there actually already is a lot of global sport databases for athletes. So as an athlete in track and field, I've already got a profile on World Athletics with all my data. EqualX allows you to connect that profile to your digital wallet. So you can, in a way, centralize all your data in one spot. So you say, I'm an athlete, here's my profile, here's all my stats, here's my collectibles, here's everything about me in one place on EqualX. The global sports market is huge, obviously. Sport is global, football is huge. They all talk about gaming, but you look at and how much gamers get paid, but you look at how much athletes get paid in Premier League, it's huge. Already there's $2 billion in NFT transactions for sports media, and also a $3.78 billion market for sports analytics, and that is growing with more and more people using wearables, as well as more and more technology coming out to collect data from existing athletes to make them better. Sports is a big business, and EqualX will sit right in the middle of those two. This year, we were actually a recipient of the XRPL grants, developer grants, so that's what we used to build EqualX up to this point. We're legally compliant in Australia, so that's where, obviously I'm Australian, that's where we want to launch initially. We've tested with a small group of 30 athletes to onboard, set up an account, mint, which went really well. And we have 120 athletes on a waiting list at the moment, with an official launch set for January 2024, which will align with the Olympic year, which is quite exciting. The ask. So what we're actually looking for at this stage is strategic advisors and partners to help us make this what it could be. I think of this as like a sports team, right? We have the runway, we have the talent, we have the vision, we have the team. We're looking for someone that can help bring this to market, but also, I guess, help us be a championship winning team. So, yeah. But yeah, thank you everyone for listening. And yeah.
All right, thank you, Tori. I wish I could be as fit as you as well. Need a bit more exercise. So the next startup that we have, he's going to talk a little bit about compliance, which is also very, very big in crypto scene. We're going to invite Javier, Xavier, depending on where you come from, to the stage, talking about Osprey.
Thank you. Yes, so many cool projects, but nobody talk about compliance, right? Okay, so my name is Javier Tamashira. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Osprey. Essentially, we focus on digital asset compliance. The story starts from here. So essentially, the whole digital asset industry is shifting from an unregulated space to a heavily regulated environment. What that means is that many companies in this room, and companies like making remittance, crypto payments, neobanks, custody solutions, asset managers, or even banks, tier 1 banks that are onboarding crypto, they will need to have a license and they will be scrutinized by regulators, right? So essentially what's going on is that this is creating a huge amount of pressure in the industry because compliance teams are now under the spot. So they need to implement compliance in a very limited time, like 18 months. So essentially, the challenge is that there is a lack of tools, infrastructure is under construction. Also, there is a lack of expertise because crypto is new, digital asset is new, so lawyers are not trained for this stuff. And technical people in this space, they are very techy in blockchain, and they don't understand compliance. So essentially, existing tools also, they don't talk to each other, so they operate in silos. And essentially, the result of this is that compliance tend to be very expensive, is time-consuming, in many cases not scalable, and there is a huge need essentially for smart compliance that enable the entire ecosystem to grow and be sustainable. And this is essentially what we do. So we are Osprey, digital asset compliance company. Our solution is designed like a Lego system, so essentially companies can easily integrate and run compliance in different ways. From a technical point of view, our solution enables companies to connect with one single API, so you can run blockchain analytics and make the assessment of transactions in real time, also wallets in different multiple blockchains, including Ripple. You can also integrate the travel rule. This is a key requirement that is going to be enforced in Europe in the next 18 months. And also from a user experience standpoint, essentially compliance team can easily implement very complex compliance processes from a unified compliance hub. And we are now working on a POC for Ripple, so essentially companies at some point that goes live in the Ripple ecosystem will be able to use our solution. So who we are a group of financial crime compliance experts. We work in the traditional financial industry for many years, in banking, insurance companies. We've been in the crypto space since 2015, and we have deep industry knowledge in this entire ecosystem. Probably, to me, the most important part is that we operate very efficiently. We are very fast at iterating idea, and we have experience building, selling, designing crypto compliance solutions across different markets. So how big is our market? Okay, so using a very conservative approach and a bottom-up approach of the analysis, we calculate that our market will reach 3 billion by the end of 2027. Essentially, the whole industry is going to migrate into a compliance space. So essentially, centralized entity will need to have a license, and many of you also will need to have a license, and for that, they will need to use some of our tools. So how we make money? We constantly iterate on the design of our pricing, but essentially we are running a SaaS company. It's a annual tier-based model. With 100 companies onboarded, we estimate 6 million in annual recurring revenue. We are live. We just launched our version 2. We are very close to get to the growth stage. We are having a huge amount of traction, especially from European companies. And by the end of the year, we are expecting to hit 10K in monthly recurring revenue. So yes, we are raising money. We are a Techstart company. We went live with our solution, as I said, at the end of June. And we completed the Techstart program also at the end of June. We got an investment from Ripple. And we are raising 3 million in 2 tiers. The first tier is for 750,000 in saved. So if you are interested or you want to share our deck, so this is my email. So we will be around. And also if you want to see a demo, we will have the computer open. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Javier. Okay, so for the next startup, I think it's a pretty interesting one because for most of us in the room here that own crypto, chances are you have used a hardware wallet before. We do have a startup that will be talking about that right now. Let me introduce Casey.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Casey, and together with Ming here, my co-founder, we are Safe Haven. So, what problem are we trying to solve today? Today, if you send cryptocurrency across to anybody, let's say from Bob to John, do you know who John really is? Because at the back of the day, we are all just private keys, right? So that is the problem. How are we going to solve this problem through a safe and secure manner? 2 ways, right? The first way, we need to trust this wallet address that you are sending to. Number 2, you also need a cold and secure way to store this digital wallet. Let's look at the first problem, right? Our first solution, which is taking Alice, Bob, and John as an example again. John, now, he has his own set of trusted network. Same for Alice. And now, Bob has his own trusted network as well. But what happens here is that they would have overlapping trusted network parties. And so, using XRP's trust line, we are able to establish a digital link of trust between Bob and John. And with that, we can also establish a link between Bob and Alice. So what this gives us is a way to establish trust amongst all these parties. And if you replace Bob with a bank or a financial institution, this means you can apply the same technology to B2C or B2B landscape, which is exciting for us. The second part of the solution involves a cold wallet. Today, most users are storing their private keys on hot wallets, which is obviously a very bad idea, right? You can obviously do better. With $90, buy a Trezor or a Ledger. So good for you. But today, why spend $90 when you can download Safe Haven's Vault app for free, right? By downloading this for free, you store your private keys on your own mobile device. So our app converts your own mobile devices into a cold hardware wallet. Okay? We also add on top of that biometrics as an additional layer of security for you. So this prevents you from being hacked remotely. We are very excited about the size of the market. So basically, we are the first solution to roll out in terms of bundling a digital identity solution together with a free cold wallet. And looking at servicing just crypto users without cold wallets alone, we're looking at 314 million users online right now. We have launched our app in May of this year. We were seed funded by Antler earlier last year as well. And we are very happy to report that till date, we have 4,700 downloads. We have 8 LOIs signed by governments and also by corporations at the same time. The ask from us is this, $1 million US for 10% of the company. And with that, we hope to have a 24-month trajectory to reach Series A round funding. So if you like what you see, this is my QR code. Please scan it. I'll be right at the end as well throughout the day. So yeah, thanks for your time.
Okay. All right. So we are at the last startup right now. But before he comes up, I want to ask, has anybody here bought gold or know what gold is? Okay. Less people own gold. More people own crypto. Okay. So we all know that gold used to be tagged to the US dollar, but then in 1971, it got depegged because of President Nixon. So next up, we have Fi Wallet. Islam is a co-founder. He's going to teach us how gold can slow down inflation for you. Islam, please.
Hi, everyone. Hope you have some energy after the great presentations. So my name is Islam. I'm from Fi Wallet. I'm talking to you today because it's a very important matter about financial security. This is a simple fact. Let's assume that Tom and Sarah had a birthday gift in 1963, and everyone got $10,000 actually in their bank account. So Tom's father was smart. He decided that, okay, I'm gonna have a saving account with compound interest. And Sarah's mother just bought gold, like most women do normally. So today, they are retired. And if you look today, so Tom's actually value has saved him about $60,000, but Sarah's actually net worth has $500,000 just with keeping gold. So gold is already well recognized as a safe haven. Everyone knows that, but it comes with a challenge because gold is not conveniently easily in terms of logistics, in terms of storage, and even in terms of Sharia compliance for people who are actually care about that. So what we did is that simply, we had a mobile app that allows instant access to gold for everyone, for any budget. It's not a necessity for you to be rich to tap into gold. And we also took care of the Sharia compliance, so it's already halal right now. What we did is that we realized from day one that convenience should not sacrifice trust or transparency. That's why we get to build our blockchain, to build our product actually in XRPL ledger right now. And we tokenize the gold on the XRPL ledger for transparency and trust. Soon we'll be launching a debit card so that anyone can pay and spend gold in every way. So we started launching in January this year. We started with organic reach just in Spain. And soon enough, we found that we achieved more than 150% growth in revenue just with organic reach, with no marketing expenditure at all. So we are here addressing a massive market. We are talking about a whopping $4 trillion in Islamic finance assets. And these assets most likely cannot tap into bank interest because actually interest is forbidden in Sharia. We started in Europe as our first market, but we are looking into expanding in Indonesia next year. This is our team here. We are all passionate about what we provide as a financial security for everyone. So myself, I have been spending most of my life in product development. Our CTO is an expert in mission critical software development. And we have onboarded one of the most famous Sharia scholars in the US, and he is also the president of Guidance College in the US. We previously already raised a pre-seed round with $700,000 but right now we are already raising a $2 million. So just we can start marketing finally. Yeah. Thank you. I'll be here there if you'd like to know about your financial future. Come and talk to me. Thank you.
Alrighty. Thank you guys so much. We have 11 startups here that work really, really hard. Could we just have like one round of applause for them for that last 3 months of hard work? Okay, so behind you, there are some cocktail tables there. If you're looking to speak to any of the startups here today, they will be there at their little tables. In the meantime, there is food and drinks outside. So let's start networking. Thank you, guys.